Corps in World War II. And at the end of the war, there was a GI Bill that soldiers could learn different trades. And up here in Russellville, about 12 miles up the road, there was a neon school back in the 40s and 50s. So in 1948, when he got out, he went to that neon school. And there were 60 individuals that tried out and went to school, and 10 of them made it, and Dad was one of them. I grew up doing farm work and around neon too. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. So I worked over there for 2 years, and then that company, it went through some restructuring and it's no longer in existence. So that was in 1986. And in 1988, tried to go in business for ourselves. I was going to diversify and start building the complete sign instead of just the neon and providing that for the sign companies. When I bought that, we started off hitting the ground running. We was doing pretty good. I was doing work for a company in Knoxville. And we were doing McDonald's, and we were doing different national programs. And it only lasted a few months. So I got a phone call one morning and said, "Did you see on the news what happened with this company?" And I said, "No." So they had filed bankruptcy. They had come in that day. They had like 1,500 employees. One of the nation's largest sign companies. And they came in and sent everybody home and shut the doors down. And so now here I was sitting on $100,000 that I didn't have to invest to start with. And now this company's filing bankruptcy. And I went through that more than one occasion with people not paying. So here we went from 2008 to about 2010 with almost no work to speak of. And you put back for rainy days, but when those rainy days become months and then those months become years, you kind of wonder how long you're going to be able to hang on. And I'm just very thankful that we were able to, and now Dad never knew that we had to diversify. When Dad's mind went, he still knew neon is what it was. And as time went on from 2008, as we diversified more, Dad's memory and mine, of course, kept getting worse and worse. And he never knew we had to diversify, and he even asked me, of course, Dad lived right here next door. And Dad asked me one day, he said, "What do y'all do down there in that building?" There's a lot goes into it as far as the processing of it that delves into a lot of chemistry. But customers would send us their design of what they wanted. And of course, in the national program, they had their logo and their font style. Most neon tubes come in a 4-foot stick. Some of them come in a 5-foot stick and straight sticks. We have what's called a pattern, a blueprint, and it's all done by hand. So you have to learn the different bends. You got to raise, double back, drop, wells, and such. So what's called a ribbon burner that'll make long sweeping bends. So your C's and O's and stuff like that, you're making a long ribbon burner. You have to heat it. Band, it's not an exact temperature that it gets to. It's all by feel. And when you learn that, it's all done by hand. You bend it. Of course, some of it sometimes may have 5-foot glass in it. You have to put a splice in it or a weld in it. It's all done in reverse. That way, when you raise it up and look at it, and so from there, we'll also show you in that how the processing is done. Because when you get done, you just got a word or a letter. And it has to light up. So from there, it has to be processed to a certain temperature, Celsius, and milliamps, and electrodes, and all the chemistry part of it. And then it has to be backfilled with gas. All that's vacuumed out. And then you backfill it with the proper gas, either argon or neon. That's the only two that you have as far as lighting up a neon sign. One of the landmarks every time I go to Nashville, reminds me of Dad, is the LNC Tower. back in the 1960s, Dad made, he and some other tube benders, made the neon that went on the LNC tower. So, of course, it's been repaired over the years and different things. I don't know the exact tubes my dad touched, but that's one of the landmarks that was on our